Cast your mind back to August of last year, July of last year. Sorry, time flies when you're being gaslit in real time. Remember when it's just a joke? It's just a joke. It's just a bunch of queers in San Francisco singing a funny song. We're not actually coming for your children, right? Nice little flashback that they have here. Just a refresher course before we just kind of go back into Florida and Disney and their protestation or their continued protestation of the Don't Say Gay bill. And then also something else that's out there right now. Okay, California is barring official state travel to Florida over the very controversial law that's in place right now that is overwhelmingly supported in Florida and is only within the confines of Florida to begin with. So, and then again, also, there is no place in the bill where it says gay at all, okay? It could just as easily be the Don't Say Straight bill. It could be the Don't Say Stick a Dick into a fucking box bill for kids in kindergarten through 3rd grade, because that's all it is. Jesus fucking Christ. But again, this prescient little ditty dropped last year, and no, it's just a joke. We're not actually fucking trying to groom kids or anything like that. No, we wouldn't spurg out because, hey, it's just a joke. San Francisco Gay Men's Choir faced a backlash in July of 2021 when the group posted a music video singing about how they'll convert your children. San Francisco Gay Men's Choir claimed the song was based on ironic humor focused on fears surrounding children and the left's gay agenda. There's no agenda. There's nothing. Shut up. Stop it. You're being a bigot. Following sharp criticism from concerned parents and community members who felt the message was executed in poor taste. No. When your enemies are telling you their plans, you don't stop them. You just let them continue. You just let them lay it all out there for you. Unless, of course, you're these fucking humorless and fucking short-sighted neocons and tradcons from, like, the Daily Wire and all that stuff, and they just, oh no, this is all so bad. It is bad, but you motherfuckers that can't see the forest through the trees. Anywho, just a little bit of this before we transition over like so many of them want for your kids. The lyrics played on conversion phrasing, emphasizing, "We'll convert your children. Happens bit by bit, quietly and subtly, and you will barely notice it. It's just a joke." The LGBTQ group's purported objective is to make them tolerant and fair, teach them not to hate, and have kids care about fairness and justice for others. Cool. What does that have to do about 2 guys butt fucking or 2 women scissoring? I have no fucking idea. Choir's most controversial line drew vitriol from critics who pointed to the eyebrow-raising lyrics as proof of pedophiles infiltrating the LGBTQ movement. Yup, it happened when you started to put the T and Q and every other fucking alphabetical letter numbered symbol behind all of it. Because what the fuck does making body modifications and changing your physical appearance have to do with what makes your dick stiff? No idea. Just lump it all in together. That's where the activism started, kids. Because if your fucking teachers are going to try to proselytize all of this nonsense to you, you should probably know a little bit of history on the movement, don't you think? Anyways, the SFGMC's musical stunt, while defended as tongue-in-cheek humor by its members, has re-entered the national spotlight following the stupid activists feuding with Florida's Republican leadership over the state's anti-grooming law. The Florida Parental Rights and Education Law now bans age-inappropriate classroom instruction on gender identity, sexual orientation for kids through 3rd grade. And again, okay, because I was listening to some stuff and they were talking about this as well, and it's like, it really did just sink into the fact, like, we talked about this a whole bunch, and it's like, this is just talking about sexuality with 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds. Like, why would you be advocating to do that to begin with? Like, that just seems so unconscionable. And I tried to put myself in that scenario, and I don't even remember what I was doing in kindergarten through 3rd grade really all that much. Like, at the time, I was probably more intrigued as to, like, oh my god, what was going on at that time? Like, playing Super Nintendo or N64? Did I even have a PlayStation at that time? Like, that was a long fucking time ago. Like, what the fuck would you even do with that information at that age? You have no concept of, like, okay, Oh, I remember some things too. It's like I had a whole bunch of different friends when I was in school and all that stuff. Like my best friend Colin, and then the rest of the friends that I had, they were just girls as well. Okay, like I got photographs of my, I guess that would be, yeah, no, second grade birthday party. Okay, because I'm trying to think, is like when did we move to Grand Prairie and all that stuff. It's like, yeah, my second or third grade would have been having a birthday party. Okay, and yeah, it's me with all of my friends, and it's just myself, my best friend who lived across the street, and then like 4 girls as well at the same time, and I had nothing going on for them because I was in the second or third fucking grade. This is so disgusting. But I know that just kind of hit me when I was listening to some stuff. It's like, that's who these people are trying to talk about this fuck shit with. And now anybody who transgresses against this should just get the fucking rope, but I'll be fined or some shit like that. But now, once again, this is just highlighting when the left goes in today's age too far, what you end up activating. Okay, you seen it happen in real time in Virginia. Okay, when you had special election, or I guess it was the full election because they're kind of fucking weird and they run on off years, but he had the election in Virginia, and what happened there? You went from being a relatively blue state, which kind of turned for quite a long time, and then overnight it was just a red wave, and they took back the House, the Senate, the governor's mansion, the attorney generalship, and the assistant governor. Is that the proper terminology? Winsome Sears. I remember her name though. All of them Republican. Why? Because they started doubling down on critical race theory, and Loudoun County was getting a little too cavalier on this stuff. When you start to fuck around with the kids, the parents take note and action. And March 22nd was supposed to be the big protest day in Walt Disney. Well, yesterday there was a big protest that happened, and I think it's supposed to be happening throughout the weekend as well. Now you have the other side of this, okay? Because you had the well-photographed, the well-televised walkouts from months ago that were repeated again after there was that one lonely motherfucker turned up outside of Disneyland. He was there with his fucking the Captain Queer cape, and trans rights are human rights, which if you can tell me which rights trans people don't have that the rest of the human race doesn't have, fucking be my guest. I can't think of any, but you know what? Hey, just that's what your programming tells you to chant over and over again. So be my guest. I won't interrupt you. You can just look like an asshole all on your own. But something that'll get less traction and less circulation there was a protest outside of Walt Disney World for the opposite side of this stuff, okay? To protest Walt Disney's waffling on this position, okay? The company, okay? Because Walt is currently spinning in his fucking grave, just wondering what's going to be happening with his IPs that are out there in the world, and just thinking, oh fuck, what have I done, co-opting the tales of history and retelling them with a nice little fucking colorful pictures. But just for some proper context, this was in, or rather outside, the California offices of the Walt Disney Corporation, okay? This just goes to show you the power of the company stepping in some shit after just not saying anything. It's like, listen, we're a corporation. It really doesn't much matter what people are being taught in public school or not being taught in public school. We're just trying to, I don't know, run an entertainment empire and one of the biggest corporations in the world. Why the fuck do we care about what one state has to pass through their legislature? It makes no fucking sense. And then, even less time than it took for me to explain that hypothetical situation, they came out and totally reversed course. It's like Florida's now just basically passed the law that allows lynching of queers, and they're just as bad as a certain segment of the global marketplace that would throw them off of the roofs. But we don't want to talk about that or any of that stuff. Now, would we? But instead of staying neutral, instead of staying out of this, yeah, no, they've just kicked open the fucking doors, exposing their very own grooming agenda and several other insane things. But let's get to the protest in California of all places. I can't even believe this. Go woke, go broke. Ads get woke, go broke. But nice. That's, I don't know. What can you expect from a bunch of moms anyways? You can't even get any of that shit right. I'm just surprised that there wasn't a eat, pray, love, or a live, love, laugh. Is that fucking wine mom phrase that's everybody has? Anyways, surprised I got that much correct. It was the central message from protesters who gathered outside the Walt Disney Corporation's Burbank headquarters April 6th. Oh, okay, so this was a couple days ago. Sorry. Some 150 people attended a rally in opposition of family entertainment companies. Family entertainment companies, really? Okay, because if you extrapolate everything that the Walt Disney Corporation owns, ESPN, Marvel, Star Wars, it's a lot more than just your old mom and pop Hollywood movie house that was putting out Beauty and the Beast and The Lion King in the 90s and Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and Sleeping Beauty in the 60s. Okay, this shit is much larger than anybody really knows or really quantifies at the workaday level. Carrying a tall pole adorned with an American flag. Isn't that illegal in California? I think they're just about getting to that point. Political organizers Charles DeMauro of Santa Barbara drove hours to attend the protest. He said he didn't agree with the company's stance decision to strip its parks of gender identification. Cool, that's a new one. I really hope they were able to go and see what they're doing today and we're going to continue doing, and that they're going to change their ways and not be woke. Good luck. Good luck. So what happens when you don't gatekeep the institutions and you just hire anybody so you don't want to appear as being an Eastern Obe? Florida passed the parental rights and education law. We know all of that stuff already. Ohio and Texas are considering similar legislation. All right, then. Yeah, no, let's just see who's all out there, okay? Yeah, you can see a couple of men in the background. You can also see some news cameras for the one guy in the back there. But who are attending these protests, okay? And what are they saying? Let them be kids. Let them stay. I don't know. Disney stops sexualizing kids. I'd imagine that's what that says, okay? But a lot of these look like organic signs and not really a lot of thoughts running through their head either way, but don't mess with mama bears. No, it's about kids. But okay, cool. If you want to make that about you, I'm sure you probably don't have a husband to go home to anyways, but the crowd steadily grew as a rally developed outside of Disney's studio lot on Alameda Avenue in Burbank, California. A handful of Disney employees watched as parents, children, and others held signs, chanted, harassed, and assaulted, and probably sent death threats by saying boycott Disney and USA. I'm sure a lot of people were triggered, and I'm sure we'll have a bunch of different Disney employees receiving very credible, very authentic death threats or violent language on social media, whatever the fuck they'll come up with. You guys, you know the same old tropes that they're just gonna fucking roll out there anyways, but and special emphasis on roll considering the constituents showing up. Not to slight them, they're out there for the right message and all that stuff, and totally have your right to protest, and it's tenuous in California, but at a federal level, definitely, by all means. It's just, what are you doing about this? Okay, there's no piece of legislation like that in California. A House bill in Florida doesn't affect you at all, but I guess it's about unisex bathrooms. Is that what we're all about? This is what happens with, even both ends of the political extremes here. You just stop focusing on what you can control and what you can fix, okay? Because whatever governments are going to do, that's what they're going to do. But if you just worry about yourself and your family, that's all fine. You don't end up with just empty slogans on a fucking red piece of construction paper out there with, I don't know, a bear painting that you had hanging up in your living room, yelling about shit that you don't totally understand. Instead, you'd just be shaping future generations, okay? You'd be doing more productive things than just chanting to a company that's not going to be listening to you anyways. They take their talking points from Twitter, okay? They don't give a fuck about your average, let's be fair too, white people that are there. They don't give a fuck about you. So why the fuck do you give them any energy? Let them rot and fester, okay? Because eventually they're either going to fall into bankruptcy, which for Disney, that could take a long fucking time. Or they're just going to realize that, oh fuck, our consumer base and our parks are starting to lose money because nobody's showing up, because nobody else wants to be indoctrinated with Goofy walking around with a fucking 24-inch long rainbow dildo hanging down. Gosh, you want to suck on this? Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to be fucking inundated with all of this shit, okay? You just stay away from this nonsense. Fucking do some more productive shit. Eventually, they'll either course correct or fucking self-immolate and somebody can swoop in and fucking fix it. You're seeing it sort of at a micro level with Twitter, okay? Elon Musk can't really do a whole lot with 9% to the company. But that also encourages, if he's able to make any inroads that are out there, there's a lot of right-leaning, conservative, libertarian-minded people that are out there with finances, with the means in order to either reform or replace these corporations that have sucked for a long fucking time. That'll show them that there is still a want for just, for lack of a better term, traditional values, okay? Just non-sexualized, non-politicized, non-agenda-driven entertainment. If that's what you're after, especially if you're out there picketing Walt Disneyland or Walt Disney Corporation, that's what you're after, in theory, in the bigger scope. That's probably not what they're out there thinking. They're just thinking that this is all about bathrooms, but what you just want is a return. Well, can't even say a return, because you just take a look at some of those older properties and you just start to see the agenda and a whole bunch of other programs, but that's ultimately what you want at the end of the day. It's not like you're trying to cancel Disney or anything like that. You just want to be left the fuck alone, and you just want to laugh at a story instead of just being hit over the head with the fact that white people are racist and women are oppressed by men and the whole world is going to hell in a handbasket, and you gotta fucking bow down and take down your pants for China. We're just laughing at all this nonsense anyways. That's why you need to focus on yourself and your family if that's what you actually care about. Going out there and standing in front of a fucking Golden Gate ain't gonna be doing that, and it's not gonna be half as effective as taking care of what's going on within your own fucking four walls. With all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.